Is your life an insult to God? Is your existence as an entirety, is that an insult to the Creator, Him, it? Is your life anything more than just pleasure, wasting time, distractions? Is your fucking existence an insult to God? This is a question you need to ask yourself, and you need to think effectively and use your brain and your mind to actually fire off neurons to create, a answer. Because most of you go through life like a fucking raft in the middle of the ocean, floating wherever life takes you, like you don't only live once and time is decreasing as we speak. Like you aren't going forward in the quantum and space-time continuum, like you aren't actually dying as we speak, right? We're just watching everyone die, and we're watching how they handle it. And so if you're handling life like a bitch, and your life is an insult to God because that pussy won't fix that bitch ass habits that you refuse to give up to be a better version of you. Now, the pussies would think that we're trying to kick them while they're down. But we're calling you up. Drop the vices, drop the vape, drop the porn, drop the pleasures, and stop being a waste of space, insult to God, you bitch. Every time you indulge in something that is negative to yourself, that's inferior, that is called inferior conduct. And so as an inferior conductor, by your habitual behaviors and habitual patterns of behavior that you refer to into your day-to-day fucking existence, that by factual contextualization evaluate you to be a insult and waste of space to God, to have the resource, to have the conscious capacity to build something, to create something, to innovatively grow as an individual, to plant a seed in your mind and to watch the fruits of that tree to bear that, and to watch as everything you've aspired and dreamt to have come to fruition. To ignore that and choose pleasure is to be a insult. Your existence is a insult to God, the universe itself. When we look at you and evaluate you, you're a germ. Your life is worth less and value less, because the worth of your life is completely correspondent to the work you put into yourself. And so as you waste your life putting the work that you could have put into yourself into a comfort zone, stagnation of a job, to remain a low-level piece of shit, and to remain in that comfort zone, to not actually take a risk and to do something for yourself, to actually create something in your life instead of be a slave to other people's will, to will yourself into a higher form of experience, to experience life at a higher form, at a higher degree, instead of remain in a comfort zone and stagnate your entire fucking life. Now, every time you waste, literally all the time you've wasted, that could have gone into you to become a better individual. That could have gone to you quitting the addiction. That could have gone into you taking a step forward instead of a step backwards. If time is pushing you forward, bitch, why the fuck are you going backwards? If the will of God is to move forward, to grow and to mature, as we look around and we watch the trees and the flowers bloom and delight our existential awareness to perceive the beauty of the art that God has created for us to experience, to sit there as a waste of space on earth and be an underdeveloped piece of shit when there's a version of you 10 times better than what the fuck that bitch in the mirror is. Understand that when you look in the mirror and you see you're a fat, out of shape, addicted piece of shit, bitch, to not change that, to not see that there's a problem and to actively go into fixing that problem, is to remain inferior to the version of yourself that would have tackled that problem, that would have overcame any sequencing that came with the consequence of that problem, to go through life as a dominator instead of to be dominated. All of you are victims to life, and you choose to be one. So as you blame him, as you blame her, as you blame this, as you blame that, we're just going to look at how inferior you are, and then we're going to demonstrate that no matter how big the burden is to bear, we'll bear it like fucking savages, because that's who the fuck we are. And you can make the choice to either be a pleasure seeking, all I do is watch porn, hit the vape, escape my reality because I fucking suck and I can't take a move, I can't make a move to be a better individual, to actually evaluate myself with absolute truth, to look in the mirror and realize that I have fucking rolls hanging off my fucking body that makes me look like a sack of shit, piece of shit, waste of a fucking lifetime. Don't care about yourself enough to make a change with that bitch in the mirror. Fuck! What the fuck is that? These are the questions you need to actually ask yourself. You intention deficit piece of shit. I'm sorry, but the more intense the message is, the more you'll be tempted to actually act on that personal development, because you would completely neglect the responsibility of actually taking action if I was talking to you all nice and generous and trying to make you feel, trying to make your feelings work in my favor. Fuck you! If you don't care about yourself enough to develop yourself in the highest image of yourself, no one gives a fuck. It's a choice for you. Are you going to be the best version of you? Or are you going to remain a low-level piece of shit your entire fucking life and never witness the beauty that you possess within you to actually take steps forward and to watch yourself grow as an individual, mentally, physically, financially, to watch yourself grow in every aspect of life and to witness the beautification of your own soul, to watch yourself unravel to a higher version, to pertain a beautiful image of yourself instead of that gruesome, grim, gray-scaled shit that you're reflecting in the mirror of life. Your reality is a reflection of you. So before you blame God and before you blame circumstance, remember that that shit is a direct reflection of what the fuck you haven't done for yourself. And so while you stagnate in the circumstance that you don't want to be in, we're just going to actively demonstrate what you could have done to actually level up instead of level down. If you're not going up, if you're not spiraling up, then you're definitely spiraling down. And if you're spiraling down, when you have the potential opportunity to spiral up, well, guess what? You're a bitch. Now, personal development, community links in the description, one-on-one mindset coaching in the description. You only live once, and the time you've wasted, you'll never get back. And time is non-refundable. And that piece of shit, bitch of a waste of a lifetime that never actually used time, energy, and attention, the three resources to create, to innovate, and to proliferate oneself into a higher realm of experience, to grow as an individual instead of remain a seed that never actually fucking started to grow. You guys are wasted potential, and then you walk around with that pussy bitch smile, and then we have to look at you as an inferior primate who's unaware of how much of a failure they are. So we just demonstrate what the fuck and who the fuck you're not through action, by dropping the vices that you couldn't drop, by making the moves you wouldn't make, and by making the sacrifices to become the best version all the time that you were too afraid or too pussy, too much of a bitch, too much of a shithead, too much of a dickhead to actually realize that, hey, I do need a change. And, you know, no matter how the people around me feel, I'm going to do it to the fullest of my potential, and I'm going to max out every day. Now, the choice is yours, personal development or personal demolition. If you're not growing, well, you're definitely retracting. If you're not expanding, you're retracting, contracting. You're being a contractive, retractive, refractive individual. Peace!